Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, all subscribers, supporters, and viewers of this video. Now, are you involved in the Environmental Management System ISO 14001 version 2015? You're probably in the verge of identifying all environmental aspects from all your unit processes in your organization, in the various departments and activities, products, and also services. Okay, I am here for you to show you important thing in the identification of environmental aspects, which is the input-output analysis. It is based from the classic mechanical engineering subject, but we're not going to do mass balance, but the concept of mass balance is being put in. And in this video, I'm going to display before you a process as an example for you to have a better idea and perhaps expand it further from where I will leave you, or perhaps with your existing knowledge, this would add up, expand your paradigm in environmental management system. Printing. It can be a newspaper printing, it can be printing of books, it can be printing of magazines, it could even be printing of carton boxes, corrugated paper boxes, or any kinds of boxes, or it could be even printing of electronic parts like printed circuit boards, like electronic micro chips, or even micro printing for that matter, as long as it is printing, involving ink, involving printing on it, and drying the printed surfaces. That is what I'm going to discuss. And I will display before you this process of identification of environmental aspects. Which stage of the establishment of your environmental management system ISO 14001 version 2015 is situated? Where in the chronology it is situated, so that you have got a big picture. Where are we? And then I will give you, we will discuss the printing process, input, output analysis, and then we will look at my favorite item, the dashboard. How would you display your work, input, output in a dashboard, so that you have got a final bulletproof environmental management systems aspects impact register to facilitate you. Okay? Before we go on, my Muslim brothers and sisters, please do not watch this video if you are in a mosque for the Friday prayers or for religious lessons. Thank you very much. I love you for that. I wish you being blessed with Jannatul Naim. Thank you very much. So let's go into the next slide. So here we are. Again, it is important for us to understand that identifying environmental aspects is very important. We need to know in our activity, in our organization, we need to understand all the activities that we have within the scope of that certification. What are the list of environmental aspects that is involved, because we got to manage them. Remember, ISO 14001 version 2015 states that environmental management system manages environmental aspects by fulfilling compliance obligation and addressing risk and opportunities that is important for us to understand. Therefore, what I have here displayed before you is this. Sorry, I can't make it straight. Environmental aspects. We are going to first of all identify environmental aspects. This is most important in establishing environmental management system. The rest, from my experience, I would have a team of people to do the contacts of organization, normally the admin people. I'll get them to cover that part, element 4 in the 14,001, but I get all the technical people, the best people, technical people who are experienced in the work, the managers, the engineers. All right, we develop steering committee. I segregate them into groups, and in individual, for each group we assign them a certain processes where they are experts, and then they start to do environmental aspects identification using the input output analysis. And normally I don't have problem if they are mechanical engineers or any other engineers. It could be electronic engineers also. They are good at it. All right. So, and for those, for if the members are not well versed in that, we'll train them, and it is easy for them to understand, especially when they have hands-on working with that particular equipment. So it's most important that when we have to do environmental aspects identification, to be involved, to get the people with hands-on who knows the process best to be part of that group who identify all the environmental aspects, and you won't go wrong. This is my experience and practice. Now, and then once we have got all the environmental aspects listed down, of course, it will be reviewed over and over by a few people, including myself. I'll be the last person. All right. And we go around evaluating those environmental aspects to determine which environmental aspects is of higher priority. We prioritize those environmental aspects according to legal liability, compliance obligation of interested parties, etc. And especially those environmental aspects that is rather challenging to be managed for that particular company. We'll prioritize that. And in once the evaluation is done, we have that array or list of environmental aspects. Then I would incorporate a column called risk and opportunity in this table. We will arrive to the dashboard. This is the dashboard that I told you. It's entire spectrum of your activities, environmental aspects, evaluation, etc. And we incorporate risk and opportunity and environmental performance evaluation results. In that particular, the EPE is inside here. Okay, so once we know our environmental aspects pretty clear, all is being addressed, then we would know, this company would now understand what type of environmental aspects that they have or involved in their organization, and they know what sort of demand is it from this company in terms of environmental management. Thereby, having known this, and when the company know its position in environmental management system holistically, then we will start to develop our policy, and then we start to develop our objective and targets based on, of course, remember, risk and opportunities. And of course, we start, for those having SOP, we improve them to manage environmental aspect in all existing SOPs. For all the processes, we insert environmental function, environmental work instruction in the SOPs itself. And after having developed objectives, we start to do our, we call it environmental management program, and this constitute the what we call in ISO 14001 version 2015 intended outcome. So we don't have to change the title of our EMP. It is reflecting our intended outcome, except that in this 2050 version, the intended outcome stipulated by ISO must include environmental performance somewhere in the objective or targets, and must include our commitment in fulfilling compliance obligation to all the interested parties, governments, municipal, environmental agencies, suppliers, vendors, insurance, clients, etc., etc. There are obligations, two-way obligations, your company and them to you. Two-way obligations, and all these obligations need to be complied with. Okay, and of course, the intended outcome is the objective itself. It has got to be reflected. Okay, so that's the idea of environmental management system ISO 14001, and we are there in the so-called environmental aspect, identifying environmental aspects from all our processes. It's not difficult, I promise you, it's not difficult. Get the right person to be in the group, those with hands-on. If you are the managerial staff, okay, the top management, the management staff who are not so familiar with the work, you got to go down to the machines with these operators, with the engineers, with the technicians, supervisors, and operators. Learn from them. Then you will be able to identify the environmental aspects correctly. Do not do it from the office. Get to the process if you want to do it right. I'm talking from experience. Okay, so let's take a look at the input output analysis, I believe. This, yeah. Okay, I have here a picture of the printing machines. Now, the experts, those experts in the operation of these machines are the operators, the technicians, the foremen, the engineers working for this. They are the experts, not the financial controller, not the managing director, not the HR manager. Okay, these are the people, and when we want to do environmental management system, we seek their help. Go down, discuss with them, do this input output analysis with them, or give them a format. And the steering committee will be sitting with them, you sit with them, and discuss about all the input output analysis, discuss about all the input and output environmental aspects involved in the operation called printing. Okay, so I hope that's clear. Okay, and my fellow consultants and trainers, I believe this video can help you in a way, such as maybe you want to have training, or while having a break in your training, or somewhere in your training, you can show this video before your clients, your audience. And I don't reserve any copyright. You can use this video for your benefit, for your clients' benefit, for your students' benefit at any time. Okay, you can use YouTube platform and display them perhaps live there. Okay, now let's come back to this input output analysis. There you are. We are identifying environmental aspects by means of the input output analysis. Okay, now we have here already environmental aspects and impact in green background. So let's take the first example, ink. Ink is input to this process. It comes into this process as input environmental aspects. And Ink is an aspect. What is an aspect as per ISO 14001 version 2015 definition? Environmental aspects interacts and can interact with the environment. An element of our organization, okay? Anything that interacts and can interact with the environment is environmental aspect. In this case, ink is an environmental aspect. How? So we got to look at how it interacts. Where to look at it? We got to look at it from its life cycle. So we look at ink from its life cycle perspective. Where? Upstream or downstream? Since ink is an input environmental aspect, we are going to look at its environmental impact by trailing upstream of its life cycle perspective. Therefore, ink interacts with the environment in the formation, in the production, and the extraction of materials from natural resources. There is an array, all sorts of activities to get ink. Ink is a blend of pigment and solvent, and pigment mostly are petrochemical products. And petrochemical products, you have seen petrochemical complexes, all sorts of emissions into the environment, don't have to talk about it here, right up to oil refinery. And it comes from fossil fuel. So the more demand for ink, the more demand for pigment, the more demand, well, subsequently to crude oil, and the more extraction of this fossil fuel. Therefore, the reservoir where fossil fuel is buried gets less and less. That impact is known to ecologists or environmental scientists as resource depletion. That is how ink as an environmental aspect interacts with the environment and causing that environmental impact. I hope you got it. That is ink. Let's get to the other end of the equation. Let's go to discarded ink. What is it? An environmental aspect, but it is an output environmental aspect. So how does it interact with the environment? We got to look at its life cycle perspective. Which direction? Downstream. From where it is now. It is being released now as discarded ink. What will happen to it? It will be collected, okay? Stored perhaps in drums, as probably in Malaysia we would call it schedule waste, and then collected by schedule waste contractor. And where does it go? Perhaps to a recycler who would recycle solvents, and that they are able to regenerate or filter solvent by virtue of condensation. All right, and what else? They get residue. Of course, they get the cleaner solvent, which is where the impurities are being removed, but due to the heat, it boils and then condense. Then what is left? Of course, those recovered ink is being reused or sent back to the client or sold off. Okay, what happened to the balance, the residue? That will become schedule waste too, and it will be stored, collected again, and sent to perhaps prescribed premise where it will be buried in the secure landfill. I hope they would use it as auxiliary fuel. There is calorific value in there, okay, but it's a bit tarry, okay. And if it is being sent to a secure landfill, it would cause definitely an impact to the environment called soil contamination. So that is the idea of input-output analysis by virtue of looking at our aspect from its life cycle perspective. And remember, if it is an input aspect, we got to go upstream to determine the impact to an environment that normally is resource depletion. If it is an output aspect, meaning being released out from this facility or this process, it will be interacting with the environment downstream and causes environmental impact downstream, such as air pollution, marine pollution, water pollution, soil contamination. So that's how we use input output analysis. I hope it's clear for you. So there you are. Again, solvent. You think about the rest, okay? And spent solvent. There it goes. All right. Solvent fumes while in transit storage. And there is heat. Electrical energy is from fuel, okay? From coal probably, resource depletion. Heat is being generated here. And there is like a localized thermal stress, a kind of convection. Now, if you are a scientist, a thermal engineer, please look into this and correct me, and please comment below in this comment column for my video. It would help a lot of people. All right. I wish to God you are blessed with all the good things in life, or helping people out. Okay. And photo plates, they are metals being recycled, being reused, either smelting, and I would love to use this word, resource conservation. We are able to regenerate, reuse, clean it up, smelt it, get new plates, right? Becoming regenerated plates. But of course, there are metallurgists, experts in metal. Metallurgists is quite wary about this because of the micro cracks when we recycle metal. So the smelting process in recycling is very important. Impurities is not tolerable if you want to do precise engineering. So please refer to metallurgists and metal engineers. They know this better than I do. Okay, this is about it for this particular part. Okay, so as I promised, I'm going to show you the dashboard. All right, not my Nissan Skyline, but it's for ISO 14001 version 2015. I don't have any Skyline. All right, I have set my eyes on a Nissan Skyline GTR since the day it was released 20 years ago. Those were before the GTR model. Beautiful car, wonderful power. But I can't afford it until this day. Okay, what I have is a Lambo. Serious, Lambo, not Lamborghini. But I call her a Lamborghitos. Why Lambo? The engine scream. Why Gitos? It is from a small car called Hyundai Atos. You know that? So I call it Lamborghitos. That's king of the road, and especially king of the parking area. So small that I can park very nicely even at narrow spaces. Never mind that. I was just joking. No offense, please. Now, this is the environmental aspects impact register. This is the format that I use, and it has been my dashboard for environmental management system, and I've done this across all the places. All my clients who have done this, they still maintain it until this day, and it is very convenient. But remember, you got to update it from time to time, not just during certification or prior certification audit or prior external audit you update. No, you got to update it time to time, as when is time and necessary. All right, so most of well, this is called multitasking. One of the effects of multitasking, we only do the work when it is needed. Look, we got in environmental management system, someone has got to be in charge in this, and I would recommend or the head of the steering committee or the environmental management representative. But the environmental management representative might not be able to do it because of his position in the company. Okay, so get someone, probably your process engineer who knows about environmental aspects very well, to be the PIC in controlling, keeping, updating this particular environmental aspects impact register. Only then it would work well for anybody. All right, so this is what we have. Now, from the input output analysis, this is, sorry, there's a mistake here. This is not cold crushing, this is printing. Sorry about it, because I got this template from the previous one. So please replace this with printing. Now, from the printing process, as we discussed just now, we have aspects like solvent. So it's over here in this column, remember? And there's another column here for environmental impact. So this is the process. All right. And what we have here are all the environmental aspects, impact, evaluation criteria, and rating. I have our own rating criteria, and it's another attachment. So this is just a sample for you. You may have your own criteria and rating. Please use it. Consult. Refer to your consultants and trainers. Get them to help you fill up this one. And I believe they already have their own rating scheme. All right, please continue with that. And also we have got environmental impact, like right here, like resource depletion. And importantly, please remember this. It would be worthy to include risk and opportunity in your dashboard. And then on top of that, these are all already complying to the intended outcome of our environmental management system. Partially complying, because the next thing from here is to have what you would call here, design your environmental objectives based on this risk and opportunities. We start to design our environmental objective. There you are. Then it is a complete, your intended outcome is seen. Of course, environmental objectives and environmental management program is in another attachment. You can have it down here if you want to, but it's going to be too messy. I tried it before, but I don't recommend it. So you got to have another folder for environmental objectives and environmental management program. Then you are safe. Okay, so this is just some sample for you how it is displayed. Of course, I got some examples. I'm sorry for the mistake on the part of activity is from the previous slide. Now this is true. All right, this is done. This is my own, there you are, my own involvement, opportunity. We did a study, we form a group, we get another consultant who are experts in solvent to come in and help us, and they manage to get, they are still under study, because eventually we found that to have a natural solvent, normally they are fruits. So we are now designing of, they are not me, they are now designing on some other methods of maybe using shrubs and other vegetations which is not competing with human food. Okay, and also we have got here damaged photoplates on-site recovery. This is a success story. This company is able to recover all the plates by soaking with solvent. Which solvent? The recycled solvent is being used there. Clean up the plates, and there's no damage, and on most of the plates are not damaged except some are cracks. But if these metal plates are being recycled by furnace, by smelting it again and make plates, metallurgists who were involved with our study found that there are some micro cracks and might not be able to get that clear definition 100% clear definition in the printed results. That was what they told us. And also you have got spent solvent, also on-site recovery. So these are the opportunities that we have, which we translate into environmental objectives and environmental management programs for planning actions to achieve. So this is the dashboard. It's the best I could do in this video. YouTube and YouTube team of people, the creator of YouTube, the inventor of YouTube, you are remarkable people. Thank you very much for this platform. You deserve all the best from the advertisements made that you have for your what you call vloggers, YouTubers, what you call it. Yeah, I'm new at this point when this video is being made. But anyway, I appreciate your what you call your work, and to all subscribers, viewers, and supporters, thank you very much. And to my fellow consultants, trainers, good luck to you. All right, I wish you all the best in your work. It is tough to do work with clients of the various types of industry. Resilience is important as consultant. Be patient. Listen to your customer first. Listen to your clients first. A good ear, good listener, normally you would come up with a very good result in your consultation work. And I believe you are able to do that like that. So, as a Malay, I wish everybody semoga dikurniakan kesenangan, keselamatan, kesejahteraan, kebahagiaan, dan kejayaan kehidupan di dunia dan di akhirat. As a Muslim, I wish everybody, wherever you are, whoever you are, whatever color have you, your hair color, your eye color, your skin color, your car color, your bike color, doesn't matter. I wish you, before we meet in the next video, inshallah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.